role of mom is very special. Our next speaker is also the busy mom. And she is also my fellow accountant. She's a chartered accountant by profession, but because she has always had a passion of making a difference to other people's lives. So she is transitioning as a speaker and a coach. And today she will talk about something about change. So let's welcome Mina.
How many of you here are scared of changes?
Yeah.
Wow, that's about 70%, or maybe less than that. I think as human beings, we always fear something, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of changes. But people who really understand that are successful and happy are people who understand that fear is always going to be there, whether the change was expected or unexpected. Let me tell you a story about a young lady, not so young anymore. Had everything going for her, like good job, good family, and out of the blue, she was hospitalized and diagnosed with a brain tumor. And that changed everything for her. And it was a life-changing experience, not for her, but for everybody around her. Even though the operation was successful, but it also left with being on medication for the rest of their life. And those medications are important for her to live a normal life in terms of those days they missed are the days she feels sad and depressed. And when the effect of the medicine runs off, she has to go around looking for a toilet because there's no control. So how do you live with such changes in your normal routine? And changes which you have to live with every day. And how do you respond to such changes? But it's her perception of the situation that makes it easier for her to live a normal life. I think positive outlook is not expecting the best of everything, but it's also accepting that whatever happens is for the best. And setbacks. What are setbacks? Everybody has setbacks in life, right? But those setbacks could be lessons to be learned, right? Those setbacks could set you up for something bigger in life. But how you respond to those setbacks really makes it easier or harder. Changes are challenges for everybody. Nobody likes them, but if you accept that those changes actually drives you to the purpose and actually grows you as a person, it probably makes it easier for any changes you go through in life. And of course, changing a perspective is not an overnight thing. It doesn't happen just, oh, I'm going to be a positive person next day. It just doesn't happen overnight. It involves working on yourself. And I'm going to leave you with 6 savors that, I think as human beings, we can follow on a daily routine if we want to change your perspective. S, silence. I think people forget that having that 5 minutes to yourself sometimes really makes a difference, a huge difference in your daily life. People forget that meditating, I think there's a big thing about meditation, but it actually has good results if you can actually put it into place. Affirmations, talking a positive language to yourself. Sometimes we criticize ourselves so badly we forget that we all make mistakes and we're all human beings end of the day. Visualization. A lot of coaches in here, they probably have big on vision boards, but having a good picture, having a good vision of yourself really helps. Exercise. Hannah, you should know all about that, right? And reading, that really grows you as a person. And lastly, scribing, writing, a journal that really reinforces your whole self. I think perception for any situation really changes the situation. And I hope I've left you with something that says every situation can never be a setback. It's always something to learn from that situation. By the way, that little story was my story. And as they say, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. Thank you for listening. Oh, that was hard.
Thank you, Mina, for sharing the story, the real story. And yeah, it's right. Sometimes we need to change the way we see things, and we see things in different perspectives. Okay, let's hear from judges.
I'm ready. Mina, that was really beautiful what you shared, and it was very brave to share all of that, and I know that it must have been difficult. There was so much in that. You left us with so much good stuff, and I think that it might be one way that you could try it might be to not leave us with the 6 things, but maybe you share the personal story in the third person and then tell us that it was you and that these are maybe 3 things that you did that helped you change your mindset. Because I think it would really help us sort of hear exactly how you were able to, because, you know, it's a big deal what you went through, and it's something that doesn't happen, you know, overnight, that you actually get to a place where you can see that change is good. So that would be my stretch, but well done.
Thank you, Laura.
You go, love. Okay. So, do you know what open and shut loops are in storytelling?
You going to tell me?
I'm going to tell you. So, to make this more impactful,
Yeah.
you could start off almost stepping into the doctor going, you have a brain tumour, right? You'd say that with more compassion. Right? You go, you have a brain tumour. Then you step into the story. This girl was told she had a brain tumour. And what if I told you that that girl's life will never be the same? Then you divulge, you come away from the story and say, let me tell you what helped that little girl overcome. And you can go, 6 is a lot, I agree with you. In such a short, 1 or 2 really deep will stick with us more. If you ask me what the 6 are now, I can't remember visualization.
Savers.
I can remember subscriber, because it's such a strange way to say writing,
Yeah.
but it's unique. Because that
Scribing,
really
yeah.
stuck with me. So then you go open loop, and then da-da-da-da-da. And here's how that girl overcame all these things. Or little girl, woman, whatever you mean. Da-da-da. And then you literally end and go, what if I told you that girl was me? And then you've taken us on the journey, both emotionally. So that would be my stretch for you. The other thing I would say is, if you feel yourself getting nervous, which you will, stop and breathe. You know, that's what speakers do. When they forget, they just walk and go. And they look at the audience and go, and then this happens. You think they're being really tense, and they're just, all they're doing is breathing, right? So there's a little technique for you. Simone.
First of all, congratulations for changing your life. I mean, surviving brain tumor and going through all that, that's very tough. So, well done on you. Personally, I have to say, I'm going just to repeat what the other judges say, is the originality in your speech is your story. Is the fact that you survive freaking brain tumor. That's not a small thing. So more about that experience to then come out with, and this is how I was able to change, and this is how I was able to transform my life and change perspective. So that would be my stretch. More of the story. I would have loved to hear that. That would have been awesome. So congratulations and well done.